You little piggy, you just wanted me to carry you, huh? You just wanted me to come and look at the camera? Is that what it was? This is one of my twins, Elijah. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by today's video, by the title, we're going to talk all things homeschool, how I started, and I'm going to be sharing our morning binders with you guys and some of the material that we do. Now, if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Ileana. Those closest to me call me Elizabeth, and I'm a mom of 4. I have 2 girls, 2 boys. Jumped from 2 to 4. We have twin boys, and part of why we started homeschool is because of them. So just to have a little bit of a disclaimer, this video might be long. I'm gonna try my best not to make it so long because it is kind of a story time on how we started homeschooling. But nonetheless, let's dive right into this video. So I always knew that I wanted to homeschool my daughter, and when we started planning to have children, this is something that I did, you know, I was vocal about with my husband, and he wasn't always on board, but nonetheless, he's very supportive. He trusts me a lot, you know, when it comes to our children and everything like that. He trusts me with our family. Obviously, that's why he married me. But it wasn't something that he was 100% like he wasn't in 100% agreement with it. Why? Because of how we grew up, you know. But I always knew that I wanted to homeschool simply because I knew that school for me was a little bit difficult because I learned a little slower, and not every child is the same. I'm 31 years old. I have no shame in my game. I can say that honestly and openly. I learned very different from everybody else. I'm a visual learner, and in school they treat everybody as a one-shoe-fits-all, and it just does not work like that. So my husband can actually, you know, maybe one day we'll do a sit down, but he used to actually, I met my husband when I was 12 years old, or I was 11. And my husband actually used to tutor me over the phone. Like, we would send each other text messages, and we were on the phone. He's like, this is how it has to look, because again, I'm a visual learner. You can't just tell me, you have to actually see it. And school for me just wasn't quite like that. Also, you're gonna probably hear my twins. They're here and the girls are in their room, but I'm gonna try my best with that, make sure that, you know, there's not much distraction. But anyway, so when we moved from New York to New Jersey, didn't allow pre-K until the age of 4. And, you know, we were trying to figure out, okay, what should we do? And I was like, let me just homeschool her. She's at the age, she was 3 years old. She's like, she's at the age, let me just start doing some preschool stuff with her, because I've been working with children. I've worked in daycare since 2010. From 2010 until 2015, I worked all daycare, and then I jumped from daycare to actual elementary school. And I worked with pre-K, kindergarten, and then 3rd grade. And then that was the last time after COVID. I never went back. And I've just been a stay-at-home mom since, and it just made sense, you know, why not homeschool? So we homeschooled her for, you know, preschool. We did, you know, it was great. It was amazing. I loved having that freedom. We took her to the zoo. She had, you know, a lot of friends, you know, co-ops and all those things. It was great. I loved it so much. But then we got pregnant with twins, and that's when everyone in my family were like, you know what, you gotta send her to school because it's a lot on you. I am 4'11", 5 feet tall on a good day, but I'm small. I'm a small person, and, you know, carrying twin boys, it was a lot on my body, and my husband was like, you have to put her to school. You can't take care of her, Ariella, who's our second born, and then also take care of yourself with the twins. And my twin pregnancy was a lot more delicate. I had to go to the hospital almost every week was something. And one week I was in the hospital, the next week I had an appointment, then again at the hospital, and again an appointment, because I had to have iron infusions. I had to make sure sorry, I had to make sure that the boys were growing okay, especially because you know, you can have a lot of complications during twin pregnancies. So sorry, let me just So you can have a lot of complications during twin pregnancies. So they were just like, put her in school, you know, do that. So we did. I was like, you know what, fine. I understand, I agree. I wasn't happy about it, but I did it. So we put her in public school, and it honestly, I don't know how to explain it to you. I didn't like it at all. The only reason why I put her in public school is because my brother's wife was telling me, you know, oh, because she went to the same school as her daughter. She's like, oh, I love that school was great, everything, but everyone's parenting style is different. I didn't like that I couldn't go into the actual building. I never saw my daughter's classroom. I never stepped foot into the actual school. If I wanted to speak to the teacher, I had to make a phone conference. It wasn't something that I could actually like have a parent-teacher call, like we can actually speak and have a dialogue. I did not like that at all. My daughter would come home from school. Sometimes they wouldn't even tell me what was going on. My daughter would tell me, oh, I threw up today, I got hurt today, someone hit me today, I fell down today, and she'll come with like a busted knee. She came home for the small duration of the time that she was there. She came home, I want to say at least 4 times with her knees bloody and bruised. And I was just like, why isn't, and out of those 4 times, I want to say that they only told me about it once. And I was just, I don't play about my kid, and neither does my husband. And it was just, it just got to the point where I was like, so I wasn't happy about that at all. My daughter would cry when she wanted to go when it was time for her to go into the school, when the bell rang. Also, there's not much protection. We live in a crazy world now. The world, you know, what's happening? So yeah, so like I was saying, the world now it's a little scary. It's scary. It's scary. It's not safe. And the children every day had to wait outside of the school building in order to go inside, and there was not much protecting them. It was just a fence, and anyone can come in and just shoot up. Like, that's just how I felt, and I just did not like it at all. And the thing that like really set my husband and I over the edge was when one day I couldn't take her to school. My husband did, and they physically, again, she was crying, she didn't want to go inside. They physically picked her up and like, I don't even know the appropriate word for that, but they basically picked her up and swung her in the classroom. And my husband was like, what the hell is going on here? Like, what the hell, like, what is this? And every day I would just pray like, God, I can't have my kid here. What is going to happen? So we're just there, we're dealing. I would keep her home a lot. I really hated it so much, and she disliked it so much. And you know, as my pregnancy is progressing, you know, we didn't know what else to do. So what ended up happening was, again, I was pregnant with twins at the time, and with my twin boys, and school started in September, all through from September up until October. She was there literally. She was there for 2 months. She didn't even make it. Yeah, she was there for, yeah, she wasn't there for long. We gave birth. My boys were my due date with my twin boys was January, but unfortunately one of my twins did stop growing, so we had to have an emergency C-section and get them out. And their new date was now for November, so they were born by the end of November. So from September, when school starts, to November, that's it. That was literally the only time that she was in public school. After that, she never went back. And the only reason is because when the twins were born, while she was in school, she ended up catching RSV. And I went to visit the twins while they were in the NICU, because my boys had to be in the NICU they were in the NICU from November till January, until they were stable enough, until they were able to breathe on their own, do everything on their own, you know, which took a long time. It was just, it was hell on earth. It was a lot. That's a whole other story if anyone ever wants to hear about that. But yeah, so I ended up, you know, it's contagious. RSV is very contagious. My oldest got it, then my second born got it, and when I went to visit them at the hospital, out of nowhere, the doctors were calling us saying, hey, the boys are breathing funny, they're not able to breathe on their own. There was just a lot of things going around. They were like, we're gonna have to check them for RSV and COVID and all of these things, and I was losing my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, my little babies, they're so delicate, what am I going to do? So one day I'm in the NICU and I'm rocking one of my twins and I'm crying, and one of the nurses, God bless her, she came up to me and she was like, listen, if I were you, if you have the ability to homeschool, I would do so, because God forbid your twins come home and your daughter catches RSV, especially because they're going to be coming home during cold flu sickness season. God forbid, you know, your daughter catches something and brings it home. It's not going to be pretty for your twins. So after that, I was like, you know what? I told my husband, I was like, we're putting her out. And I'm not risking anything. We're putting her out. And that's when we started homeschool. I emailed the school. I let them know I'm going to be homeschooling. The only requirement that we had was that I had to have a written letter stating that I would be in charge of my daughter's education, and that was it. And that's how we started. And we've loved it ever since. We love the freedom. I love that I'm able to see what my daughter's struggling in, and I love that I'm able to help her learn in her way. I'm able to see how she likes to learn, and it's been so beautiful. And I'm so grateful, you know. Little hidden blessings. My twins are healthy, by the way. They're great, they're good, they're thriving, and they're gonna be 1 next month, and it's crazy. I can't even believe it. But yeah, that's how we started homeschooling. And sometimes my husband will like ask my daughter like, hey, do you want to go back to school? She's like, no, I really like homeschool. So I love that, you know. That lets me know that I'm doing a good job. Lets me know she's having fun. And I honestly don't think that, especially from my experience seeing and working in public school, it's a whole other video. I don't even want to get into that, because but anyway, it's just, you know, kids need to play. Kids need to learn in their way. And again, whole other video. I don't want to get into that. But that little story time is over. So I have my 2 kids. Obviously, I'm not homeschooling. I will be homeschooling, hopefully, God willing, my twins. But for now, I just have my 6-year-old and my 3-year-old. My 3-year-old, I don't recommend you guys doing like actual, like, you know, curriculum work with a 3-year-old. Up to you if you want to, but I'll show you what I do with her for preschool. But for my 6-year-old, I do have her on like a schedule, a curriculum based learning schedule. I will also point out that I have not purchased any curriculums. They are very expensive and they're great. I've heard amazing stories about them, but I just, especially because I have the history and the knowledge of what it is that a child needs to learn, I just felt like I didn't need any of that. And so far, she's right on track. And she's learning and she's growing, she's thriving, she's doing everything that she needs to do. So I know that I'm doing a good job, I'm doing my part. So just a heads up, if you are thinking of homeschooling, you do not need to spend thousands or hundreds of dollars on these curriculums that you see online. You don't need it. My resources have been Pinterest, YouTube, Google, the library, and my old lesson plans, and teachers that I have worked with, and friends of mine that are teachers. I message them and we help each other out, and that's how I'm able to teach her. And I will also say Lakeshore is very good. I love Lakeshore. I have so many supplies and materials for kids. That's where teachers go to buy their materials for their classrooms. Some of the books, she's again now 1st grade, she's now learning how to read big. Like, she's learning how to, like, we're broadening it now, not like this cat in a hat and boxing something. No, like, she's actually learning how to like read. And some of these books, I'm just like, I don't like them at all. So I'm starting to write my own little books for her so that she can learn that way, because these books are like, I don't know. But anyway, so this is her first binder, her morning binder, Welcome to 1st grade. And she already started, some of it is written in. But every day she does go, and also all of the pages that are in here, I did myself. Another little hack, laminating. Laminating is a great laminating machine. They're great, but again, it's not something that you need 100%. They do have, I don't know if you guys remember, but like these plastic pocket folder things. I just stick the paper right in it and it does the same exact thing. You can use it forever. And not for nothing, I think it's a lot cheaper than laminating. But anywho, so every day she'll do today is, this is like the calendar, the weather, days of the week, months of the year, all of this stuff. She'll go, and last year she was just doing her first name. This year she's learning to write, this year she's learning to write her first and her last name. And I have her every day tracing the numbers, the letters, capital, lowercase, and just little things that keep her busy in the morning that I know that she needs. And as the months go by, I do add more and more and more into this. And for my 3-year-old, same thing. She writes her names, but and then I have her ABCs that she can trace. But I mostly have like shapes that she can trace, and stuff like that. People have asked me, how do you go about teaching them the ABCs? How do you go about teaching them the alphabet when it comes to writing? So something that I've learned is always teach them how to write their name first and the letters of their name first, because that is obviously the most important. They should know how to write and spell their name. So that's one thing that we do. Something else from our morning work that we do is our keepsake Bibles. I love these. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I do. I teach my kids about God and the Bible and all of these things. So I love these. I talk about this all of the time on my Instagram, because this is the actual Bible and it's not sugar coated or anything. Like, it's literally the Bible, and they can color in it after. And I love that. And I always go back and we have a dialogue. We talk about what we read and what they understood and all of these things. And something else that I do, my markers are about to fall. Something else that we do is her journal. So this is handwriting paper. I got this off of Amazon. This is handwriting paper. And I do have a big whiteboard, but I don't really, I do use it, but we don't really, you don't really need one. I have this one, which is double-sided. It's chalk, and then the whiteboard. I love this. I will always write like our morning journal, like, good morning, today is such and such date, and then I give her an actual journal entry. Like, she has to write what does she like to eat, her favorite book is, her favorite activity to do is. She has, like, I write it, and right now she's just copying it. So some words she's learning how to write on her own, which I'm so proud of. For a 6-year-old, you know, it's amazing how I'm just very happy to see her thriving. So she is writing some words on her own, but for this, I do write it and she just copy it and she puts it in this paper, in this book, I mean. So this is what it looks like. Last year we did the same thing, except it would be where it would have like a space for up here, like it would be blank so she can draw, and then down here would be where she would write. This year I'm just focusing on, I want to improve her writing, and that's what this book is. What else? Like I said, I do my own curriculum. This folder, this entire folder it needs to be organized, sorry. But this entire folder, excuse me, is of paperwork, of math, and just worksheets, activities that we can do, like this one, like what can float. I'm gonna see if I can just take it out. Like what floats and stuff like that. I don't know if you can see that. Things that float. My husband just did a really beautiful science lesson with a pumpkin last week. It was amazing. And then I have these books here. Like, see, look, this is one of the books that I bought that I was just like, oh, whatever. But it was one of the books that I was like, all right, fine, I'll make do. But this is just, you know, like, we like to draw, we like to write, we like to paint, we like to build, and I'm just like, like, I need a little bit more. I can't. I can't. But she's learned this book literally within 2 days, and I'm like, no, this is when I knew that I needed to write my own for her. And these 2 books I got. What's the matter? This is Elijah. I mean, no, this is Liam. Sorry. This is Liam. Oh, this is Liam. You think he... Oh, excuse him. But But anyway, so, and then these last two books I got from Lakeshore. This one was really good. I love the stories in here. They're good. They're a little simpler. But again, it's, you know, you just read, this is comprehension. So you read the story to her, and you're gonna see the camera move because the boys are right here. But you read the story to her, and then you ask her the question. She has to answer to make sure that she comprehended what you read. And then this one is just an activity. There's math in here. There's English in here. There's connected dots. There's coloring. There's a lot of things in here. I really love this book. These are the two that I felt were more appropriate for her. And again, if you are, I'm sure all teachers know Lakeshore is amazing, but if you're planning on homeschooling, Lakeshore is the way to go. And it's honestly a godsend. I love that store so much. And Amazon, you can't go wrong with Amazon. So yeah, these are some of the things that we do. I'm going to be on the lookout next Friday. I upload videos every single Friday. Next Friday will be our homeschool routine. You're actually going to see hands-on like how we do things and how it's done. And yeah, so what? My voice. So that's to wrap up. That's the end of the vlog. That's the end of today's vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down below. And yeah, see you in my next video. Bye guys.